WD-40.
Bobby.
Bubby.
You
WD-40.
hear that door?
Either that or they got a calf in there.
Okay, we ready?
Like a whisper next time.
Okay, good evening. Would like to reconvene to public session. Hold on. At 7 p.m. And if we could stand and salute the flag in a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Recommend approving tonight's agenda as submitted.
So move.
First, Mr. Nichols.
Second.
Second, Mrs. Pugh. Roll call vote, Mr. Nichols,
Approve.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
Ms. Ralph,
Approved.
and Mrs. Isler. So approved. Recommend the approval of the minutes of the Board of Education regular meeting of November the 20th, 2024.
So moved.
First, Mrs. Pugh.
Second.
Second, Miss Ralph. Roll call vote, Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
Ms. Ralph,
Approved.
Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
and Mr. Nichols.
Approve.
So approved. Recognition of guest.
Keep growing. And there she goes.
The administrative assistant to the superintendent for the 11 and a half years and has worked for the state of Delaware for 36 and a half years. This is going to be her last board meeting because she's riding off into retirement. So let's all give her a big round of applause. We're doing this under the guest category this evening because we're blessed to have Lori's husband and son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter with us this evening. You guys want to give them a round of applause for them? Thanks for joining us. We also have some speakers and gift givers for you this evening, but first I'd like to read a tribute from Representative Dukes, who sends his regrets that he could not be here this evening. From the House of Representatives, tribute. Be it hereby known to all that the House of Representatives acknowledges Lori Lewis' outstanding service to the Laurel School District and the state of Delaware. We commend Ms. Lewis for her more than 36 years of dedicated service to the state of Delaware, with more than 11 of those years with the Laurel School District. Her exceptional career demonstrates her unwavering commitment to public education and community excellence. Exemplifying the highest standards of professionalism, she has ensured the seamless execution of critical events such as board meetings, the district opening, homecoming, graduation, and staff recognition events that have elevated the district's reputation and fostered community pride. Mrs. Lewis has been a model of reliability, consistently anticipating and meeting the needs of the district, its leadership, and the community while managing complex responsibilities with exceptional attention to detail and dedication. We commend Mrs. Lewis for outstanding contributions to the Laurel School District and to the state of Delaware, as her legacy of excellence, dedication, and service will be remembered and cherished for years to come. Sincerely, the House of Representatives. Thank you. I know Mayor Schwed, our mayor, is with us. Mayor John Schwed, if you would come to the podium at this time.
Thank you, Dr. Larimore, members of the board, staff, and guests this evening. I'm here as the Laurel Mayor this evening, and this is one of those, for me, one of those pleasant occasions where we get a chance to say thank you to somebody for a job well done. Okay, so I have a honorary tribute from the Mayor and Council of the town of Laurel for Lori Lewis. Lori Lewis is a 1986 graduate of Sussex Central High School. After serving as an administrative specialist with the Delaware Division of Developmental Disabilities from 1988 to 2013, she began her career with the Laurel School District on August 5, 2013, as the administrative assistant to the superintendent. During Lori's career with the Laurel School District, she provided professional dedication and unselfish service to the students, the families, and the Laurel School District. Lori Lewis devoted 11 and a half years to the Laurel School District and a total of 37 years to the state of Delaware. She was deeply committed to her work, always striving to improve the Laurel School District. Through her dedication to her family, community, and the district, Lori made a lasting impact on the students and families of Laurel, contributing to their growth and success. Lori, would you come forward at this time for me, please? While she's walking up here, why don't you come over here? Yeah. It is my pleasure, as I said, again, as mayor, the town of Laurel Mayor and Council extends its sincere appreciation and congratulations on Lori Lewis' retirement and directs this tribute to be presented on this 11th day of December 2024. Like I said, I know it's a melancholy day for you, but for me, it's a very pleasant opportunity to say thank you for the job well done. Have a quick recognition.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you.
Boy, just stay right on up here. It's like this is your life. You ready? At this time, could I have our principals join us at the podium?
So Lori, on behalf of the Laurel School District Administration, we want to thank you for everything you've done for our staff, our students, keeping us all in check and making sure we meet our guidelines and our deadlines. We appreciate you more than you know, and we wish you much happiness and making new memories on your next journey.
It's time if the board would like to come forward.
Okay. First of all, I don't know how many of you know, but Lori loves flamingos. And I tried to order a flamingo, a real one. Yeah. But they will not ship this time of year. Plus, I knew that her husband, Sean, her son, Casey, and daughter in law would have to go home and build a pen tonight to put the flamingo. The best time of year is June. They'll ship them, but I didn't think I could talk Lori into staying till June. So, anyway, so she is flamingoed up here with lots of goodies. Yeah, I want you to show one. No, that was the first. Perfect for Lori. You could keep it called the baby. This year's. Very warm. I've worked with Lori we're trying to figure today, maybe 10 and a half years. The scary part with working with Lori is realizing how much Lori and I are alike. That if she couldn't think of it, I did. If I couldn't think of it, she did. So, Sean, you got a good woman here. Casey, you got a good mom. So anyway.
So President Hitchens just said, Sean, you got a good woman here. And I said, I know I do. Then I remembered if she was talking to you. Uh, oh, I saw a movie one time where a football coach and a quarterback came into a situation at the same time, spent 4 years with each other, and then at the end of the year there was a banquet, and the coach was saying, "I don't know what I'm going to do. I've never been the head coach here without him as my quarterback. I've never been a superintendent without you as my administrative assistant. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to go forward with this one. So it's going to be a tough job, that's for sure." I wanted to share with you guys real quick, and I won't go through all this, but this is kind of key to the gift that I gave Lori. When we interviewed for her successor, we made all the questions about Lori, and this was the introduction. Lori Lewis has been an invaluable part of this office for the past 11 and a half years. She's not only excelled in her responsibilities, but also brought a unique sense of professionalism, reliability, and harmony that has set the tone for everything that we do. The following categories and questions were thoughtfully crafted for those aspiring to step into the role she has so masterfully fulfilled. They reflect the values Lori exemplified and the legacy she leaves behind. And those categories were professionalism, reliability, harmony, and legacy alignment. The last question would, how would you honor and build on the legacy Lori has created in this role? Mrs. Hitchens told me not to get mushy, so I'll try to stay away from that. But the mark that you've left here is going to be one that's long lasting, and I'm going to miss you terribly. As long as you're open gifts.
My nameplate.
All day today, she's been wondering about her nameplate. It's good. Would you like to say a few words to her?
Oh.
You got it.
Oh, I don't know, words just can't express. It's been a distinct honor and a real pleasure to have worked here at the Laurel School District and been the administrative assistant to the superintendent. It's been the best 11 and a half years, and I'm really going to miss everyone because Laurel is my family, and everybody I work with is family. And it's been wonderful, and I'm going to miss everyone terribly.
In all the years I've been here with Lori, she knows that I'm her manic depressant. Whenever I can't think of something, I call Lori. Mr. Sweds talked about her family. Well, I thought we were her family. I mean, anytime we need anything, my wife or anybody else, Lori's always there for us. And I really appreciate it. I mean, and Wanda does too. And like I said before, quoting from the movie Titanic, the guy he was leaving, it says, "I miss you already," and I do. So, thank you for being with us.
All set, right? And really quickly, I just want to say, we as a team, as the board, we are, you would not believe this, you probably would. If you know Lori, you'll believe this. But she has a way of individually meeting what each of us need when we need it, and making us each feel individually like we are the cream of the crop. And you can't find that anywhere. And I feel very privileged to have met Lori, and even to miss meeting Lori, her husband, because he also has to take good care of me too. He makes sure that we're on the floats and different things. He takes good care of me, and I appreciate that as well. But I think he learned that from her. She's a good teacher. So
When we
Lori,
found
as
out,
everybody said,
never let us bounce more than twice.
as everybody said, we not only appreciate Lori, we not only love Lori, but Lori is, people like Lori are hard to find that are the same way all the time. Like, not just because, like, when I see her, like, and even just recently out in the store somewhere, like, we're not around other school people, so you don't have to, have that kind of air about you. Lori is always Lori. What you see is what you get. And I love people like that. And so I just want to wish you the best from this day forward. And I know she is just going to go forth today, and she's got a long list of all the good things I know she's waiting to do. And we just wish you, as a board, and on behalf of the board, we just wish the best. If there's a scale from 1 to 10, we want to like triple that 3 or 4 or 5 times. The best for you, Lori. God bless you.
You did good, Lauren. You did good. The only thing I did not accomplish over this period of time was getting her husband to wear a bulldog sweatshirt. He would.
wear a Central belt.
You did wear one.
Central.
You did wear a central. Yes, he did. He did. But I'm hoping that for the homecoming parades, he will come back just to take us through the parades again. To ride with us. Oh, you hear that, Susan? Write that down. Definitely. Right. That was a blast. Okay, let's go right along. Public, no communication announcements. That was it. Public participation,
No,
Um,
no one
Okay.
there.
no sign up. Superintendent remarks?
None.
None. All right. Board participation, we're skipping over that, except from all of us, and we all would say this
Yes.
together. You're going to
Merry
see,
Christmas.
come up, have a couple weeks off to regroup
Mhm.
and enjoy your time off with family. Okay, financial report.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It'll be real quick tonight since we just had a board meeting about 3 weeks ago. I submitted the class size waiver that was approved last meeting 3 weeks ago. Things coming up, we've got some audits that are going on. We've been notified of a couple more. Our local funds audit, or the construction funds audit is going to get started. And we've also been notified of class size audit for FY22 and 24. Some things that are coming up due. The related services declaration is due on December 15th. I've begun drafting the FY25 final budget for the January meeting. We have our next Citizens Budget Oversight Committee meeting on next Monday, the 16th, and finalize the state reduction plan of $419,000 that's due to DOE by December 31st. And also our Opportunity Fund report will be due on January 15th, and that'll be posted to our website. And this is just the snapshot for the reserve fund as compared to the same time last year, and we're following right along with the same trends as we have in the past. So, are there any questions for finance? Thank you.
You guys.
Susan calls.
Okay, thank you.
See you guys. Thanks for coming. Yep.
Okay, unfinished business, the second reading. Recommend the second reading of policy JIHC-Weapon Detection Screening Program as submitted and found on the district website in the Board of Education Policy section and as found at the Laurel School District site. Do I have a first?
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Nichols. Second is Mrs. Isler.
Mhm.
Roll call vote, Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. Recommend the first reading of policy titled 9, Non-Discrimination Policy and Notice of Non-Discrimination as submitted and found on the district website in the Law Board of Education Policies and as found at the Law School District sites.
So moved.
First, Mrs. Isler.
Second.
Second, Mr. Nichols. Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
We approve.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. No school choice fundraisers. Recommend approval of fundraisers as a group.
So moved.
First, I believe that was Mrs. Pugh.
Mhm.
Second,
Second.
Mr. Nichols. Roll call vote, Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. Recommend approval of fundraisers as submitted.
So moved.
First, Mrs. Isler.
Second.
Second, Mrs. Pugh. Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. No rentals, professional trips, none. First reading, GCBD. Recommend the first reading of policy GCBD, professional staff leaves and absences as submitted and found on the district website in the Board of Education Policy section and as found at the Law School District sites. This policy is available for review by the community and at the Laurel School District buildings and on the district website. Then we have the recommend the first reading of policy IKA-R1, grading system, newcomers and multilingual learners, as submitted and found on the district website in the Board of Education policy section and as found at the Laurel School District sites. This policy is available for review by the community at the Laurel School District buildings and at the district website. Personnel professional, recommend to approve the personnel report with recommendations as discussed in executive session as listed in attachment A.
So moved.
First, Mrs. Isler, second, Mrs. Pugh.
Mm-hmm.
Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approve.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approve.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approve.
So approved. Personnel attachment B, support, recommend to approve the personnel report with recommendations as discussed in executive session as listed in attachment B.
So moved.
First, Mrs. Isler,
Second.
second, Mr. Nichols. Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approve.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approve.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approve.
So approved. The next board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, January the 15th, 2025, 7 p.m. right here. Do I have January 15th, 2025?
Next year.
I was 2025.
Do I have a motion? We adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
First, Mrs. Isler, second, Mr. Nichols. Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approve.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approve.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approve.
So approved. We are adjourning at 7:28 p.m. Thank you. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Good night.
Yes, Merry Christmas, everyone, and please enjoy your families.
Good holiday.